Welcome back, guys, to Dinner and the Movies. We just finished watching Aladdin. Oh man, it's a whole new world out here, guys.
I knew he was gonna.
Let's roll the goddamn trailer,
bro. Jesus.
Roll the trailer.
You three get back here!
I can make you rich. Rich enough to impress a princess. There's a cave of wonders. Bring me the lamp.
Hey, can you make me a prince?
You look like a prince on the outside, but I didn't change anything on the inside. Showtime.
Don't you dare close your eyes. Hold your breath, it gets better.
So what's up, guys? Just finished watching the movie. We want to get a quick dinner in. You know what I mean?
So grab your food.
Yeah, grab some food. We had some garlic sticks. Remember breadsticks? Fuck out of here, man. Breadsticks.
Garlic sticks.
Garlic breadsticks.
Breadsticks for Pizza Hut, guys.
From Pizza Hut. Putting y'all on. Anyways, this joint is mad good. So, that's what we're having for dinner. Keeping it cheap. Let's get into it. So, I decided, after watching the movie, I give this Downs a 7. Flat. Love it, hate it. Is what it is. What'd you give it?
6.
Stop doing it! I don't want to read your fingers, bro.
6 out of 10, you know.
I give it a 6.5.
I don't see why, but
Well, and you will.
Let's talk about the good, right? Oh, this is not spoiler free. We're gonna be talking about everything in this
I
movie.
think they should know by now that none of our reviews are going to be spoiler free.
Well, imagine somebody just like, oh, and then they go click. I want them to be mad at us for what we do.
yeah, I agree.
Spoiler free is usually written in the thing,
Oh, you do that?
in the description.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, maybe if you saw what I did, you would know this.
I just do, you know, I'm
But
like,
what you forgot, this one time you forgot because mistakes happen.
that we're held liable. It's about integrity, guys. So I want to let y'all know, spoiler free. It's not spoiler free. It's not spoiler free. So, what do we like about this movie? What was the good stuff?
Genie.
Yeah, boy. Will Smith killed it.
Good job. Good job. Really good job.
I know a lot of people.
Alright. Never mind. Let me go second.
Alright, so yeah, I want to piggyback off both of you guys. Will Smith, it was awesome seeing him act as the genie. He did his own thing. I'm gonna preface, he did his own thing as a genie. That's Will Smith's genie. It's not Robin Williams' genie. To cut the shit, it's Will Smith's genie. I thought it was dope. The character, how he interacted, and the friendship that he made with Aladdin, it felt pretty cool, refreshing, and it was, you know, it's exactly like how they created it in the cartoon version. So in the movie, they were friends. In this movie, they were friends, and I like the relationship.
Wait, so they're gonna be enemies or something?
Cut the shit, man. Cut the fucking shit, man.
Two guys gonna be enemies?
Alright, y'all next.
I like what they did with Jasmine. How they made her more of a leader. I liked how they didn't just make her like she was helpless. I like when they do that. And I know you were going crazy over that Speechless song.
Yo, bro,
he was crying, bro. My man was in tears. He was in tears, bro. You should have seen my man, bro.
I mean, you know what that feeling when your face gets furry? I was feeling the furriness, bro. The face was feeling furry.
I wasn't, but it was a great scene.
Yeah.
It was a great scene. I liked her character. I like how they really made her character.
I was like, come on, Naomi Scott can sing. And I was like,
you didn't see Lemonade Mouth. That's your problem.
I saw Power Rangers and I thought she was good enough.
But
you meant the
singing, you clown.
I meant the bad as hell part.
Yo, Lemonade Mouth, good movie, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, it was okay movie. It was Disney. This back when Disney Channel had integrity, though.
Yeah.
When they actually casted teenagers, now they cast 3 teens. But anyways, yeah, Naomi Scott. What was your likes?
Alright, damn, chill. What I thought was good about the movie was I didn't find it boring. Surprisingly, I went and watched Beauty and the Beast remake, and I was hoping it wasn't going to be like that because Beauty and the Beast remake was very. I wanted to sleep through a lot of that.
Yeah.
This movie, I felt like I was thoroughly entertained throughout, and being a person that saw the original several times, there's obviously going to be some comparison, but I think they did a pretty good job of trying to make this one their own and to stand out. And I give it props for that. You know, you guys mentioned all the other good stuff that I liked about the film, especially for a guy that's not really into musical stuff. Like, normally I'm just like,
yeah, I don't really like musicals, but I was
this
like,
one I was
I have to. It's
Oh, and tan and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking.
Solid introduction to this world of Aladdin. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Bad now.
Bad. Yeah. Jafar.
I let you handle Jafar. For me, I'm gonna just start off saying plot convenience.
Oh, no.
Wait,
never mind. Go.
Play it too. Anyways, for me, the bad was a lot of like plot convenience things. I feel like what did that movie clock in at? An hour,
2 hours and 8.
2 hours and 8. You know, for a movie that's longer than the original, I was expecting that they would maybe make the story more streamlined and everything's kind of more connected. Yeah, shit's good. Everything's more connected, but there were times where even at the beginning, you know, he meets the princess like that almost without us really getting to know who Aladdin is off the rip by himself. So it's like, all right, cool. My man's now running into the princess. The princess, like, it just felt like a lot of things were just happening so fast. And then, I mean, there was a moment where the genie was talking about Jafar, but Jafar and him had never had an interaction really. So he may have seen Jafar from afar, but he never saw an interaction between. He's like, yeah, Jafar. He's the kind of guy that, you know, you can't trust, and I kind of felt like that was weird.
I don't think that's a real thing because it's like genie's been around for 1,000 years. You've seen so many type of people, so you know that might just be his genie intuition. You know, I don't really see it as a.
Well, everybody else, noticed or said something about Aladdin, like, "Oh, you're gonna drink out of that cup, huh?" But when it came to Jafar, he just referenced him specifically, so it wasn't like. It almost was. It felt like it wasn't like he was talking about people like Jafar. It felt like he was talking about Jafar specifically.
Oh, okay.
That's why. That's detailed bullshit. But like I said, you know, plot convenience stuff. It just like, a lot of it. Just sometimes it was just like it was going at a nice pace and then something fast would happen.
I would say actually my problem was the pacing in the very beginning.
Oh,
I think
sure.
that was the problem.
Okay.
Instead of the plot convenience, I would say it's the pacing of the movie. Because the beginning, like not the first half, but like first third, first quarter, I would say really picked up like fast. They wanted to get to the genie a little bit too much the first quarter of the movie. I would say that. They really wanted to get to the genie in the first quarter of the movie, and we'll get to it later. And that was a problem. They really we'll get to why they should have used that time more sparingly.
Because people will be like, oh, Genie's the star. He's like the main attraction. It's like,
we've seen the genie already.
Yeah.
I get it. You have to represent the genie, but this is a remake, so you can do things a little different. Yeah. Especially because they said it's 38 minutes longer than the original. Right. So they could have used that time more sparingly. and I felt like the first quarter was rushed when the first quarter of most movies shouldn't be like developing the world and like the main character. So that's mine.
Y'all ready for me to go in on Jafar?
Go in.
Jafar was just terrible.
Jafar, bro, he wasn't even menacing. He looked like an Abercrombie and Fitch model or something, bro.
Yeah.
Like he didn't.
You remember the I don't know if it was the same dude. If you remember the Dark Knight, right? There's that scene where Harvey Dent is threatening that guy who's like he's like a mental patient, and Joker had hired him, and then he's like I don't know anything. Like that's how I felt watching.
Yeah,
like, that's who I kept envisioning when I saw Jafar. Jafar was just bad all around. Like I can't even wrap my head around.
Annoying, bro. Like he wasn't menacing. That was the thing. He was like. He tried to be menacing, but this dude was just. My bad.
Yeah, we take it.
No, go ahead. Yeah, good.
He reminded me of the dude from Superfly Snow Patrol, the main dude.
Yeah.
It's like you don't have a reason. You're not even worth being jealous.
Yeah.
Like, just back up. You're just a clown.
Yeah.
That's how I felt with
Jafar was just in the originals. You know, he's this older gentleman. He's more menacing. He actually shows that he has powers before he even the scepter. He had the scepter, but you could tell that Jafar himself was in the sorcerer's realm, unlike this movie, which only makes him a sorcerer at the very end because he wishes it to be so. The actor was terrible. I shouldn't say. I don't know if the actor himself is a terrible actor. I don't want to say that. His choices in this movie were terrible. I'm gonna say that. The dude was. I was just like, it wasn't the Jafar that anybody would be scared of. He seemed like a whiny, self-entitled punk.
Yeah, that was the problem. Self-entitled. That was the problem with him.
Throughout the entire film. So there's no point that you wanted him. You could even remotely root for him. There's no point in the movie that he doesn't come across as this annoying little nuisance that takes away from the actual parts that you like about the movie. You don't care to see Aladdin confront him at any point because you just want him to lose every step of the way. Yeah. Like if he tripped and fell and died halfway through the movie, nobody would care. That's essentially what we come down to. So it's like that. Then the dude, this is the biggest problem. The dude has a scepter which controls people. Throughout the entire movie, it's just convenient, plot convenience. He has this scepter before we even meet Aladdin, clearly. And this scepter can influence the Sultan, anybody. And it's only till Aladdin comes that this dude is actively trying to influence the Sultan to do what he wants. So Jafar wanted to be Sultan the whole time. Nothing was stopping him. He could have used the scepter and solved this entire problem. But he didn't.
This feels stupid.
All he needed was one-on-one meetings with everybody.
Yeah.
And he would have
literally. But he has to make a wish to make this happen, which is dumb in and of itself. So I'm just like, with Jafar, it's just they made specific efforts to boost up Aladdin's character, which kind of falls short. Definitely did it with Genie's character, and definitely did it with Jasmine's character.
Even the Sultan, they boost. And the Sultan's right-hand man, they boosted him up instead of Jafar.
And that depends on the individual behavior of all the individuals in here, individually.
Just like the soldier named Hakim. Yeah. It's just like he gets a big part to shine. Like he's just like, I'm gonna stand with the original Sultan. And Jafar just, even to the point where he loses, it's so comical. Like when they make him into the big Jafar.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Thumbs off, please. It's a movie.
It's a text. I don't know who I got it from. It may have been what you got. Yeah. When they make him to the big Jafar, you're kind of like laughing. There's no point where you feel this dude is menacing as a villain. And he seems like a C- cartoon. Like if he went to a villain school, he'd definitely get a D. And it's like, how do you do that when it comes to being bad? You just have to be an ass. And it's just like, Jafar's the biggest downfall of this film. And that's on Disney. That's on Disney, not boosting his character.
They should have been looking closely at how the choices that guy made. I mean, if anyone needs to stand out, it's Jafar, because Jafar knows him.
Jafar's a classic villain.
I get it. It's cartoon, but like they made him way too like. A villain should never really lose its cool like that. I hate when villains lose their cool. Like they don't have some type of control over. Yeah. The dude just like scream.
Yeah, he loses control every scene he's in. He's like, my son.
Yeah. He's like losing control, and then he gets shut down. Like villains shouldn't be getting shut down unless it serves a purpose.
He's like a sub villain. He's like a weasel. He's just like always.
That's what it felt like, bro.
He's not a main villain. He was a weasel.
Like, coward. You coward. You blind vegan beef salesman virgin coward. Say what you want to say.
He's always just like, Isolda.
And like, tell me how his staff was so busted, bro. Tell me why his staff took longer than Anthem loading screens, bro. Bro, he's literally waiting. I'm like, so when is this thing gonna charge up? That Aladdin straight takes it and busts it.
That scene I was gonna get to next. My eyes got stuck in my head from rolling at that scene. I'm like, how does my man just steal your scepter and break it like this? He watches. He watches as this happens, and I'm just like,
Jafar was a.
They treated Jafar like his parrot, like the pet that he has. Like his
parrot was more menacing.
I'm like, even that was the biggest
the fixes. The fixins.
Yes, let's go into fixes. I just have one more thing. Opposed to the cartoon movie, I know that it's live action, and the way that you transition into things is a little bit differently. I wish there was better prompting in the live action movie before they sang. Sometimes it just seemed like it was really jarring. Like there was not in the cartoon movies. There's like usually an indication, like there's a break before
like
they sing.
Hakuna Matata.
There's this way of setting it up. It's like a character would be like, "Yeah, we're gonna be talking about." I'm like, what the? Like this is crazy to me. So.
Live!
Yeah, that's very much just
like, Dad, can you sing for us? No, I'm not singing.
Yeah. He's like singing the Arabian Nights song. I'm just like,
yeah. I was like, wait, I thought you weren't singing. I'll say my first one, Aladdin. Because I think we all agree. I think that's the reason why I don't give this movie a higher score than a 6, which is still a good movie. But it's because of Aladdin, how they did my man. They did not, like we said, the first quarter of the movie, they should have built his character up a lot more. Yeah. Because we saw the genie already. And in my opinion, I knew. Trailers. Yeah, and in the movie. But I'm talking about the cartoon. So we could have. Like Will Smith, I knew Will Smith was gonna do his thing, but I felt like the genie could have take a little step back and let Aladdin shine a little bit more because the movie's not called The Genie, it's called Aladdin, and they didn't make Aladdin seem like a main character enough. Like he didn't have shining hero qualities in the movie.
Yeah,
especially even how he saved them. I was like, that's how he saved them. Especially my man doing parkour and stuff. Because that was really cool.
Yeah, they abandoned
that was really cool. And I thought they were gonna use that at the end or something, but I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like they really missed out on that.
Just so they had the monkey do parkour.
No, my man really
but Aladdin, they didn't show him I wouldn't say not enough, but they didn't show he didn't have star qualities. They didn't put star qualities into Aladdin, even though he's the main character.
They made Aladdin a very much so an everyman.
Yeah.
There was nothing really special about it. Like the whole diamond in the rough thing.
I don't know what you're talking about!
Didn't really get that vibe.
At all.
As we talked about, like...
Because I'll say it.
Yeah. It's like you call Aladdin the street rat, but my man is like literally, he can steal bracelets off of people like that, like magic. He's living in essentially a broken ivory tower, but nonetheless an ivory tower. It's like there's people living on the street. You're living high up above where you can see all of Agrabah. It's just like you're not gonna really. And even in its dirtiness, it still looks majestic. I'm like, So where's the real struggle for Aladdin right now, and why is he this? The movie only makes him this hero because the plot demands it to. Opposed to the animated movie, they actually show a little bit more of his struggle, and you get to see it's like
my man was shirtless for the most part.
Yes, he's down on his luck, and this is like he's stealing to survive. He gets his proposal from Jafar. Then he goes and then he ends up meeting the princess. What this movie does is it takes shortcuts around that just so that we could get to the genie part, and then it's like, well, is Aladdin really the hero in this? Not really.
Yeah,
outside
that was
of
the
last
problem
scene.
because it was like Genie was the hero and
Yeah.
Jasmine.
Yeah.
Which there's no problem, but like, well, actually, there is a problem with that because it's Aladdin.
Yeah.
There's no disrespect in that. It's called Aladdin, and they didn't make him enough of a hero. Like, that's why it's just like, yo, I felt bad for the actor because it's just like, yo, it's like you got outshined because they didn't write your character good enough.
Yeah, and like, they go back to the actor. That part of it is his fault. I'm like, if you're smiling 90% in the movie, I'm gonna find it hard that you're struggling with anything. He's just like, hey, Genie.
And I got confused because I felt. Did anyone else notice this? I felt like they backtracked or like they forgot something because why was he more smooth with Jasmine?
Yeah.
When he was a street rat.
So what's up, baby? You want to slide out for a minute?
But then when he became a prince,
yeah,
he was like bumbling like an idiot. I was like, wait, what?
This is completely
It didn't make any sense. I was like,
think
why
they could have chopped so many corners there. If they already had him as a prince and being himself, then he would have been like, yeah, Genie, I'm gonna just make more wishes and you're gonna do whatever I say because he had that extra piece of his life, and then it would have, but they had him be a loser again and then regain his confidence, then tell the Genie off in like some weird way. Like he just has his heel turn. Remember the middle?
I think they tried to
that was the problem. When they
weird.
tried developing his character, it got cut. They wanted to cut corners with it.
Yeah, especially during that
that's
scene
one
where
of
it's
the things
just
they
like,
should have fixed.
Genie, you're just doing this for yourself. It's like, where did this even come
Yeah,
from? There was no indication that him and Aladdin had that. It was just like, Genie's like, yo, bro, so you're not going to tell her the truth? And then dude is getting on his high horse, which he's never done throughout the entire film.
Yeah.
And there's no... he hasn't had enough time to change to make that kind of decision.
Yeah.
All of this is happening in probably 2 days.
Yeah.
So it's like, do better, guys.
They should have. That's one thing they should have fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's disappointing how they did Aladdin.
Mm-hmm.
How would you guys want to go about fixing Jafar?
Jafar, I would definitely fix. They started touching upon it when he stole the thing that he stole from the brooch that Aladdin took from Jasmine. He stole it and he's like, I was just like you. I was expecting way more of this parallel and this understanding between Aladdin and Jafar because Jafar is saying, I came from humble beginnings like you and I can steal like you. They even go as far to have Jafar steal the lamp from Aladdin, and Aladdin doesn't realize it till later. That's like any semblance of them going a little bit deeper into these characters, two characters that were lacking the weakest parts of the movie. They don't give you an opportunity to let that flourish. And I'm like, that's something I would have played with, because your villain is supposed to be a foil. It's supposed to be the opposite of the hero. And there's supposed to be a clear distinction. There's nothing indicating in this movie that Aladdin's character could ever become anything like Jafar's. And it's like, you could play with that. You should have played with that, because genies are eyes for the audience, basically saying, hey, I know what happens when people make wishes. I can see how they get corrupted, blah, blah, blah. Especially since they both wanted something. Aladdin wanted money. Jafar wanted power. You could have delved into that deeper and even have some point where Aladdin's realizing, like, damn, I'm becoming like Jafar.
Yeah.
But you would have needed a scene before that, but that would have helped deepen the story-wise, the parallels between the characters.
Yeah,
you know,
it would have been even cool if he was just, I don't know, you guys can let me know, if he was just like, when they were going to Agrabah, he's like, I would wish I would be a prince, but even if he was like, I'm thinking of maybe giving everybody in the town money, like, we're all poor, then he would have been like, he's a diamond in the rough because he's actually doing something that benefits everyone, not just himself. then you'll be like, oh, Aladdin, he's that kind of guy. Like, oh, all right, yeah, well, this dude, there's a reason he could enter the lion's den.
Yeah. They showed him give away the money when they were doing the Prince Ali stuff. But speaking of that, like that would have been cool if they even throughout a line when he was like, what do you want to be? He's like, maybe I'm thinking too little. Maybe I want to be Sultan. Remember, that's something Jafar told him. He's like, you're thinking too little. And maybe he could have been like, that would have brought a deeper meaning to his discussions with Jasmine, even to the actual Sultan, because it could be like, if he wanted to be Sultan, because he thinks that he knows best, you could have had some form of, nothing deep, obviously, because it's a Disney movie, but an understanding between him and Jasmine. That way he could say, you know what, Jasmine, you definitely deserve to be Sultan. Not just because the movie wants him to say that.
He didn't know the insides of being a Sultan.
Exactly. He's just like, you should be it.
And it could have been a good rivalry between him and Jafar, made them closer and have them have more scenes together. Because like Jafar, I think he needed motivation. Just like they could have just went an easy route where Jasmine's mother's home country killed his family. Jafar. Yeah. And it was a revenge kind of thing. They didn't even do that. Dude just wanted to kill innocent people. Yeah. Just like, all right, we're kind of past those days of those type of villains. Yeah. We needed more
some level of depth. And that's what you're supposed to do. You have a live action film. You have an opportunity to make a staple.
You should have made it with like history, just like imperialism. Yeah. Because they could have done that just like, yo, Britain's going to come or something. They're going to conquer us. Yeah. Which I get it. That's not the same region. Right. Britain conquered India, I think. But they could have done. It's whatever you want. You could have done that.
And I wouldn't accept the excuse that it's just because it's a Disney movie either. Because we see Pixar films, we see these other films that delve into deeper themes. Look at Zootopia. Zootopia is as much a kids movie as any other movie, but it speaks to adults as well, just like the original animated Disney movies did. Right. And you have an opportunity to really just be like, we're going to make something better. No, you wanted to play by the rules, follow the blueprint, but not stand out. And that's weird to me that they went with that.
I mean, Jasmine was perfect. I mean,
they made her really good.
She was. I ain't trying to get you in trouble.
Yeah, please.
I'm just saying it's fine.
People watch this. Come on.
The Sultan was whatever.
Sultan wasn't a character. He was supporting character.
Which shouldn't have been the case.
All right, some real simple. Fix the action scene at the end. They bring back his parkour. Should have been running him and like the flying carpet was dope. That scene was sick, but him saving the day should have been like,
and it shouldn't have been so phoned in. Yeah, the way that he outwits him is so simplistic.
Because it's annoying. Because like, dude, I get it. You're supposed to live on the street. You're supposed to be like not really outwitting people. I guess you can. That's your trait. Yeah. But Jafar, this dude's military. He's like political power. He has more education. If you really like break it down, Jafar shouldn't have been like
manipulator got manipulated.
It was a super easy manipulation.
Yeah,
like,
it was.
Hey Jafar, you want to be the biggest, baddest guy around? Why don't you wish yourself to be the biggest baddest guy around? Like, all right, Aladdin. It's like there's nothing wrong with that. You're right. It's like
come on, bro.
Come on,
like,
guys.
You should have just been like swinging off the thing, like climbing up. It should have been like a cooler moment.
Even if they didn't do the parkour thing, I think they just had like this kind of like quick grifting, like swapping, because they do it really well. And Now You See Me. Now You See Me. Now You See Me too. It looks sick. Like I'm like, yo, how did they do the slide of the hand thing? You know, imagine you're doing that in an action scene where you're running or something like that.
Running, and then Abu is like catching it somehow with his little monkey hands. But like he was finessing stuff all the time, so it was cool. Like it would have been really sick if they played with that.
I like the dancing, dude. I forgot to say that.
Dancing was dope. How they incorporated it was like cool.
Yeah.
But sometimes the frames got all out of whack.
Yeah.
The frames were jumping to 120 and
That's
shit.
something
Like, bro,
I would
120
fix in
frames
the
was in
movie.
this ain't a video game, bro.
The frame rate was kind of crazy. I don't know. I get it that Guy Ritchie, he's hit as a director, that's kind of his style. But for a movie like this, I think it was really one of those things where I'm sitting in my seat, I'm like, this better not continue throughout the film.
Throughout the movie.
Yeah, it was just like, really, it was like, what the wait, what?
Yeah.
And then,
Catch the day.
and then it was like, it was just like really quick.
What are you doing?
I was like, this is not gonna work for me. But thankfully, that calmed down.
Yeah.
But overall, I think my rating
I think it's gonna be the same. I think it's gonna be 6 because I wanted more of Aladdin. That's what I was looking for.
I would have hoped for more Aladdin.
I wanted more of Aladdin.
I have a lower mark score. 6.5, man.
Damn!
I was at a 7.
You can't give it a 6.75?
Nah, man.
You gotta be different, bro. You gotta give it stay the same or.
Well, no, you guys convinced me that it should be lower.
Yeah, that's true. We can't convince
yeah.
people to go up or go down.
So yeah, it was definitely those were the weakest. Aladdin and Jafar.
Yeah.
That's what really put this movie. I think that's the reason why this movie can't go above what people expected.
Exactly.
That's the reason why.
I agree. So if anybody's ever going to remake these films, I suggest you listen to these.
Lion King, you guys are in.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not a believer in you guys yet.
No.
Not a believer in you guys yet.
Yeah.
Me and this guy were talking about it. I'm not the movie. Not trying to be that guy, but it kind of looks like National Geographic, where it's like a documentary of March of Lions.
Yeah.
Literally, like it just looks where a bunch of lions are gonna die.
Yeah.
And it just looks dark. It doesn't look.
I don't get that whimsical feel. You put in a song, but I'm like, I need to see these lions singing. I need to see these animals singing about life being greater than what it is. That's what I know Lion King to be. What's the next movie we're checking out?
There's a bunch.
Because I know I want to see Mama or Mom.
I mean, we have options. We have Mob, Brightburn, possibly Godzilla. There's a bunch of stuff coming up.
Yeah.
What's in June again? That might be a little break.
Isn't Toy Story June?
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. But definitely the ones to look forward to, no doubt, Lion King and Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So whatever movie we decide, you'll see next in our next review. See you guys next time. Have a good night.
Peace.
Run the credits.